Okay, great. And we also have Robin Brandon.
Correct.
Okay, and who are you representing here today, if
I'm
anyone?
with UC Health.
Got it. Okay, great. Welcome. We also have the zoning plans examiner, Trey Sheldon here. Welcome, Trey.
Morning, everybody.
Um, I need to read through our hearing script before we get started. This will just take a minute and then we can begin. This is just going to cover the procedure for the hearing. This is the August 6th, 2025 session of the zoning hearing examiner docket. The case before us today is case number ZH20250071. That is 2830 Victory Parkway. The purpose of the hearing is to allow applicants and any other parties to testify and to offer and refute evidence and testimony. This hearing will follow the rules found in the zoning code and the supplemental rules of the zoning hearing examiner. All evidence and testimony that an applicant or any other party would like to offer must be presented at this hearing. The hearing will proceed as follows. The applicant, the applicant's attorney, or the applicant's agent will first present the applicant's case. For our purposes here today, I'll let Ms. Brandon and Mr. Holdhouse speak during that time. Any background you think is important about the project, what exactly the project is, the relief you're requesting here today, and then why, of course, you think that relief is appropriate. If there were anyone here from the public, they'd have an opportunity to speak after the applicants have presented their case. I'll hear from the zoning plans examiner, Trey Sheldon, if he would like to provide any testimony in addition to his staff report that he has submitted. In the event that any party testifies or offers argument in opposition to the application, the applicant will have an opportunity to respond to that testimony offered in opposition. And then finally, the applicant will have an opportunity to make any closing statements. After all presentations have been made, I will close the hearing. Decisions may be expected within 2 weeks. I may limit or exclude any testimony that I deem irrelevant or outside the scope of the application being considered. I may interrupt any speaker to ask questions or to make any comments. In the event of any technical difficulties with the Zoom technology, I'll do my best to troubleshoot those issues on the fly. But to the extent there's some defect that prevents us from meaningfully going forward with this hearing, I may continue or postpone the hearing at my discretion. Okay. Last thing I need to do is just swear in all of our witnesses. So if you intend on providing any testimony here today, the zoning code requires that I swear you in prior to that testimony. So I will do that now collectively for everyone that wants to testify. If you could just looks like everyone's off mute. If you could just raise your right hand, I'll need everyone to answer out loud. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you shall provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Yes.
Great. Thanks, everyone. All right. Who'll be taking the lead here for us on the applicant's presentation?
Robin,
I'll go ahead and do a brief description of the project, Charlie, if that's okay with you.
that's great.
We are we are currently doing a major renovation to our Victory Parkway building. This is a property owned by UC Health that used to house administrative offices. The building's been vacant for approximately 5 years. We received state and federal grant funding to renovate the first floor of that building for the Timothy Freeman Center for Developmental Disabilities. So this is a primary care clinic that currently is housed on our UCMC campus. We're expanding it times 10 to serve a growing population of patients with disabilities. So it's about a $6 million project. We're nearing completion of that. And as such, part of that is doing enhancements to the exterior of the building and the parking lot and landscaping. And so I'm going to let Charlie explain what we're hoping to do to update the signage.
So what's there on the building right now is just a small box that's it says UC Health on it, and it's just not really in line with the current branding standards of UC Health. So what they're asking for is just the brand UC Health on the building, and based on the zoning that's office limited manufactured home where it is right now, they're limited to 3/4 of a square foot per linear foot of frontage or 36 square feet, whichever is the maximum of those two. So 36 square feet is what their maximum allowable sign space would be. But given that the building is 170 feet of frontage, if you were to calculate that number based on the 3/4 square foot per linear foot, your number would be a 127.5 square foot sign. We're not asking for anything nearly that large. We're asking for a sign that is 65, basically 65.5 square feet. just so that it's more visible from the intersection there at MLK and Victory Parkway. The building is set back about 180 square feet, or I'm sorry, 180 feet from that intersection. So just having the brand on the building in a way that looks appropriate for the building, given its renovation, and also being able to read it from that intersection is really what we're after for here.
Okay, great. So it sounds like the rationale for the new signage is overall just the expansion and renovation of the building and coming in line with existing branding for UC Health, but also visibility, wayfinding, that sort of thing for that's appropriate for the size of the building.
Correct.
Okay. Let's see. I don't think I have any other questions right now. Unless there's anything else you all want to tell me, I think I'll turn it over to Trey. And see if he wants to add anything to the discussion.
Sure, just to reiterate on the way the building is oriented here, and located. It's at a major intersection here. I mean, you're having the intersection of Madison, where Madison turns out. We have Victory Parkway trending north from like northeast to southwest, and then you have Madison Road and like the changeover. I'm sorry, from the change of name from Madison at that intersection.
The best ramen restaurant in the city is like across the street, so I am very familiar with this location.
My daughter is as well. Anyhow, yeah. So I mean, it's a major intersection where MLK and Madison, change over names, and just a ton of traffic there. Mr. Holthouse stated the building itself has a frontage of about 170 feet, which, as he pointed out, if you use the factor of the 0.75, you could you could construct a sign twice this size there if you were using that standard in isolation without a cap on the sign face area. In addition to the busy intersection, the building's set back kind of unusually far from the road here because it's at that curve, and so it's not a neat corner the way when it was constructed. So it's set back 180 and change feet, David, from the road. And then also because the frontage curves around there, the road frontage I calculated at more than 500 feet. If I measure the property along the front. So and it's about a 1.5 acre lot. We've got a 3-story office building here. The proposed use before it was as Ms. Brandon pointed out, it was more of like an administrative physician's office kind of context. Now it's much more the context of people going to be visiting here for outpatient, treatment that day. And so the wayfinding component changes, frankly, just due to that. In my experience of doing this for 10 years, that's when you have people from the public trying to find a place that they've been there at the first time, or a loved one or caretakers bringing them and doesn't know, I mean, you're driving a very busy street right there trying to find where we headed. And I think changing over from where the same doctor goes to and the nurse or whatever goes to the same office every day is a different deal when you have clientele that's coming there on a rotating basis. I just feel that wayfinding component becomes much more prevalent when newcomers especially are trying to find a place. Even cell phones and navigation systems notwithstanding, you want to see where you're going. So I think on top of that, also, as Ms. Brandon and Mr. Holthouse indicated, we've had numerous hearings for other properties for UC Health in the past year and a half. I've been on some of them too. You've undoubtedly heard all of them, and so they're in the process of a rebranding, new logo, kind of a cleaned up logo for them and modern context. So there's that aspect too of building identification, changing that over and doing that to all of the UC Health owned properties. Last, I'd point out that there are other properties in both this district immediately to the you're standing in front of this on the road to the building to the left, which is also a health oriented building, received relief to have none of the signs in singly are as large as this one, David, but there are 3 of them with locational variances that in aggregate ended up being larger. You know, like in aggregate, it's closer to the 150 or 120 square feet. So if you were to look at that building, just if you're reviewing this case at all, look on Street View and you'll see what I mean. Trying to see where I mentioned it it's in my staff report, that ZH number, and
Sure.
they did receive.
Yeah. So for some additional context, and Trey, you can answer this, or
Sure.
Mr. Holthouse or Brandon, Ms. Brandon, how does the new signage, and I know it's going to be a much larger building, but how does the new signage compare to the existing signage on the building, just for some context here in terms of size and scale?
Sure. The existing building sign is it is, I think, exactly 36 square feet. It's just a box, and it just contains graphics on the front of that box that say UC Health. I think it says something physician's offices, maybe is what it says right now. Whereas these letters are just individual letters that are against the brick wall. And then, when you make a box around that set of letters, we work out to the square footage that we're asking for here, which is larger. But, it's just, speaking about the aesthetic, it just looks right on this building at this point because of the updates that they've done to the building.
Okay,
There are also
thanks.
a couple of other, there are also a couple of other, because of the built infrastructure here in this neighborhood, as you're well aware, is much of it's been this way in the streets far before any of us were born. So there are a patchwork of different OL districts to accommodate the existing land uses that were there. And there are office limited districts to the south of here. And I did find it's hard to tell from just street view on some of them, so I didn't want to make a judgment call. There are others that appear to certainly, be at least at beyond 36 square feet. 2 of them identified were absolutely, without a doubt when you compare driving by. There's a 1314 East McMillan and a 2145 Lori that certainly appear to be more in line with the size of this sign. To that extent, the comparable property, right? I mean, you had relief approved right next door for 3 signs that in aggregate exceed what's being asked for here.
Okay, great. Thanks, Trey. Appreciate your testimony and your work on the staff report.
You're
Turn it
welcome.
back over to the applicants here. Anything you want to say in response to his comments, or anything else in closing or otherwise before we adjourn?
Nope. Thank you, Trey.
No, thank you.
Thank you guys for your
Okay.
time.
Sure.
I wanted to say,
Okay.
Robin, hey, congrats on apparently the new gig. I was just for by context, David. I think you even hearing possibly when it first started when you were a hearing examiner, but Robin was with Cincinnati Public Schools for many years, right?
A long time, yes.
Yeah, so I haven't seen you in quite a bit of time.
I
even though you're
know.
gonna be
Well,
here
thank
today,
you
but
for remembering.
yeah, congratulations on your new gig.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Great. So I think we can leave it at that. I've had a chance to review the application materials here and the staff report. Based on the testimony that I've heard, I believe it would be impractical to strictly enforce the zoning code to this particular application. And so I am going to approve the project. I need to formalize that approval, as I think most in this room are aware of, via a written statement, a written decision. I will get that out to you as quickly as I can. As soon as I finish that, I put it into a PDF and I'll email it to everybody in the hearing. So you'll have a copy of it really just moments after it's complete. Once you and Trey have that decision, Trey can approve the zoning permitting on his end and you all can take the next steps. Any questions about any of that? Okay.
No, thank you so much.